Hello and welcome to the WIZZKWIZ tutorial series. In this series of tutorials we're going to show you how to use questions on WIZZKWIZ, how to develop your own questions on WIZZKWIZ, how to set tests and tournaments and all that kind of thing. So in tutorial 1 we're going to show you how to just join WIZZKWIZ and sign up to it. So the first thing is you've got to find it. So it's just WIZZKWIZ.com, like so. Press enter and you come to this screen here where you can just use WIZZKWIZ without logging in. You can just use the sort of questions. Okay, so for example I can just click the ask question there and I'm straight into it and getting different types of questions. Okay, I'm not going to answer that now because I'm going to show you how to sign up properly. So if I click full login, I go back here and I'm allowed to now properly sign up. So if I click sign up now, so all we need to enter here is the stuff that will allow us to identify ourselves to WIZZKWIZ and any name we want to be published on WIZZKWIZ in the sense of other people seeing that name. So given name here, this is just going to be visible to any other user. So if I am known in my class as David, I could just put David in as there. Okay, then here, unique identification, this is every single person is going to have their own unique ID. So if you put in something like David, then it's probably not going to be enough to uniquely identify you. So you might there go David and put in some numbers to make sure you are uniquely identified. And that's now the unique identification that you will need to log in to WIZZKWIZ in the future. You could use your email for that, because obviously that's an easy thing to remember, but again you don't have to if you don't want to. You'll also need to enter a password, and you'll need to repeat your password to make sure you've entered it incorrectly. And you can then also enter in a contact email address. If you don't put in a contact email address because you want to stay completely anonymous, that's fine, but if you forget your password we cannot contact you. So it's not a bad idea to put in a contact email address, but obviously then that email address is then known to us. Now we wouldn't ever sell that data or use that for marketing purposes or anything like that, but we simply cannot email you to tell you what your password is if you forget it, if we don't know what your email address is. So it's genuinely up to you whether you put that information in or not. You can also put in any additional information you want here. In general, I wouldn't recommend doing that, although if you're an employer and you're using this system in order to do recruitment, then that's where you would sort of put your marketing about your business so that people want to join your tournaments to try and get a job at your company. So you may put something in there if you wish. Also, if you're a teacher and you want to set lots of great questions which other people use, you might put a bit of autobiographical material in there so people know what your experience is and can rely on your questions. Okay, so then we can look at the cookie policy down here. Cookies are just data items that are stored on your computer, so when you press refresh you don't lose all your data. That's all cookies are, but the law says you have to agree to that. So you would click sign up here and accept cookie policy. Okay, and that's it, we're in. Okay, so you can see over here we've got the unique ID that I put in. That will not be visible to other users, but that's what enables me to sign in to WIZZKWIZ in future. So we can now put in whatever keywords we want here. We'll cover that in future tutorials. Click ask question and you get a example question there. Okay, so the question is you want to get to Manchester to Crewe, Manchester here to Crewe down here, no later than 13:34. What time would you catch the train from Manchester? Okay, well I want to be in Crewe by 13:34. That's too late, so I'm going to have to catch this one. So the train from Manchester I'm going to have to catch at 12:15. So there we go. And we can see we've got that right. You can then put in any comments you have. You could read comments by other users. And you've got here your performance so far for this type of question. So for type of question statistics, you've answered one question, you got it right, none wrong, none passed. You've done 1.7 questions per minute. Very roughly you can see how the system's going to work, but we'll come on in future tutorials into looking at the more advanced features. Okay, so the next tutorial will be how to use keywords, setters and IDs.